Good morning and welcome into In the Know for your Thursday, January the 5th, 2023. It's Sam Gormley filling in for MB another day. And we're going to make another dollar here on the show, get you updated on some of the local news headlines here on K105 on Litchfield's Country Station 103.9 The Moose. Via the app, SoundCloud, K105 Digital Productions. We've got all of the ways for you to be joining us, and we're glad that you are here this morning. We'll get you updated on the news headlines. I've found a list that somebody has put together of the top 4 Beatles songs of all time. So it's not like that's going to be controversial at all. Some new movies that are coming out this year, and then the food trends that apparently we should be looking forward to in the year 2023. That and a whole lot more coming up on today's show. I again have to make the choice of who's going to go first today, but we're going to do this one first. Frankly, there's a good reason why.
One on my chest, a gun on my hip, and the right to arrest. I'm a guy who's a boss on this
Got to just let it play, right?
So watch out what you're doing when you're driving my way. If you break the law, you'll hear from me. I know I'm working for the state. I'm the Highway Patrol.
What he's number 101 on your scanner, but number 1 in your heart, right?
Absolutely.
That's Sheriff Norman Chaffins. Morning, Sheriff. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing fantastic today.
Welcome. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I've got a perfect question for you to start off the show. Are you a cereal guy in the morning?
I used to be. And I used to be a Fruit Loop guy. But
Fruit Loops. Okay, I've got a list here of the top cereals according to restaurantclicks.com. Number 1, Cheerios.
Nope.
Yeah, no, I'm out there. Rice Krispies, number 2.
Nope.
Maybe if you put some marshmallows in there and put them in the oven, right?
Negative.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch,
Nope.
Number 3.
Nope. Not even close.
Really?
No.
Frosted Flakes,
Nope.
Raisin Bran,
Ugh.
and Lucky Charms. You're out on all of those lists?
No.
Really? I didn't know. I mean, Lucky Charms is good.
Captain Crunch.
Yeah.
Crunch Berries. Fruit Loops. Choco Berry. Fruity Pebbles. And Choco Pebbles.
I mean, there's the list. So you're calling shenanigans on Restaurant Clicks.
Those are awful.
We'll bring in our second guest co-host for the day. We already know what that music means. Radios everywhere, turning off.
Who am I?
More like
The name's
Facebook
Yukon
Live stream.
Cornelius, the greatest prospect.
What, the Facebook Live's going off?
Yeah, I think so.
You're looking at
You know him as Yukon Cornelius, Dennis C. Cook, Humble Bumble, Freight Train.
Yeah, Freight Train's probably the most popular.
I see. The thing is that I've only heard one person ever call you Freight Train, and it's been yourself.
What?
Yeah, I don't know.
You hang with me down in Beaver Dam, it'd be a different story.
I don't know that I really want to go with you to Beaver Dam. That sounds like it's a dangerous thing. Dennis, What is the perfect temperature inside to put people in the best possible mood?
I would say probably 68 degrees.
68. Well, according to a new study, and I feel like both you and the sheriff are going to have very strong opinions on this.
Be high, I'm sure.
72.
Good grief.
According to, and this is not going to surprise you all, Cosmopolitan says that it is 72.
I haven't gotten my issue in the mail yet. So.
They must have polled about 100,000 old people on that one.
What is it at the sheriff's office all the time?
It varies. Our HVAC is ancient. Well,
I guess
although, I'll say this: Clint's taking care of us. Clint
Okay.
Abner. I guess I just plugged Clint.
You did.
But Clint used to work for me. Did some volunteer work, but he took care of us. So it stays about 70, 71, something like that.
The cat is away, so it's
Yeah.
He's
Well, at
not
least
gonna
I
be
didn't
listening.
say. No, I can't say that.
Okay. We should probably talk about the weather instead before maybe the cat does hear about this. And I get a text message any second now. Sunny start. Clouds will increase through the day. Highs climb into the upper 40s this afternoon. It could be windy, near 25 miles per hour. And light rain could push through the hour. If you're in the northern portion, you could possibly see some snow showers. Tomorrow, partly sunny with a high around 45 degrees, low around 36. Temperatures will go back into the 30s, and we're going to kind of get back into that typical January weather. We've had the nice weather for the past couple of days, but that's about it. We'll hit some quick local news headlines. We have what I've done here is I've just picked 5 stories. If I can count right, I thought I counted 5, but we're going to find out, and maybe it's 6. But
Okay.
5 or
We'll
6
find
quick
out.
stories, and then we're going to talk about some more things just to kind of get you updated quickly on some of the headlines if you're listening, and that's why you're tuned in. Last night, I know, Dennis, did you have your essay ready?
You know what? I forgot
Mm-hmm.
all about this.
Really?
That's my bad.
Maybe, Sheriff, did you instead come through and write 500 words on Andy Bashir's State of the Commonwealth last night?
No,
State of the
I
state.
didn't know it was an assignment.
I guess you passed on that. Dennis didn't do his homework
I didn't
either.
watch it.
I did not either.
Well, good for you. We'll let you know kind of some of the things.
Yeah,
and again,
please do.
and I love that these, and it doesn't matter what political party it is. You could pretty much just whichever political party you're on the side of is, or whichever political party is giving the speech. It's just like they almost have the speech written, and it's like they play Mad Libs. And it's
Fill
like
in
let's
the
just
blank.
fill. Yep, let's just fill in this. Let's fill in this. Let's fill in this. No, da 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 da. He delivered his 4th annual State of the Commonwealth, citing record economic gains, overcoming tornadoes, flooding, and a global pandemic that has repeatedly turned his job into crisis management. He called on legislators to legalize access to medical cannabis. He already took executive action to allow Kentuckians with certain conditions to legally possess medical marijuana. In his speech, the governor hearkened back to the state's tragedies that overshadowed his term. Then David Osborne, the Republican Speaker of the House, came back, and they're playing like ping pong, and so on, and that's that. If you really want to read about it, there's a good story at K105.com that has all of the information that you need to know. But like we said, they pretty much play Mad Libs.
Yeah,
It's
when-
whichever side it is, they put in their trigger words, people
Yeah.
clap, and so on.
But when you have record lows on the economy, any improvements, you're probably going to have record highs because you improved so much because you were so low to begin with. So I'm just saying.
It's all open to interpretation. You
Yes.
can always find numbers that'll help you out. As a stats guy, I can always say that. I know that there used to be a certain coach that used to get upset at me for coming up with stats that might have been positive when things weren't necessarily going positive.
Yeah.
Kentucky's Secretary of State Michael Adams on Wednesday offered a plan to increase the number of polling locations and the recount process during an appearance before a legislative committee. Adams said early voting, approved for the first time during the pandemic, has been working well. He says, although I'm proud of early voting, the solution to long lines is not to add more voting days, at least in a non-presidential election year. More than 4 times as many voters voted on Tuesday, November 8th, as in the 3 early voting days combined. He said the lesson here is we need more voting locations, not more voting days. He also went on to talk about the recount law, and pretty much he says we need to close some loopholes on recounts. He said that there were some people who might have taken advantage of that on races that a recounts. I mean, when you lost by 2,500 votes, a recount,
Yeah. And when
it's not going to help you.
when you live in a rural area like us, the more voting locations means more money that you're going to have to dish out to cover the poll workers and the voting machines and everything else. And small communities like ours will struggle with that.
It's going to be tough. And I mean, also you think about it. I mean, Grayson County right now, 21. Is that right? 21 precincts?
23, I think.
23. Okay, but it's over 20. I mean, where else would you put them in Grayson County?
Yeah.
It's because I mean, for the most part, they're pretty well spread out.
Yeah.
You've got every nook and cranny is filled with a precinct right now. The Grayson County Sheriff's Office apparently is alerting residents to a scam related to the United States Postal Service and other home delivery companies. You got anything else on this? Or?
Yeah, we get scams anywhere from 2 to 3 a week, and it would just be monotonous to post every scam that we get calls about. I mean, it's just crazy. Yeah, that particular scam, I was actually contacted by a postal worker here saying that they've had a lot of people coming in. Hey, I've got a problem with the package, and it's nothing to do with the postal service. You click on that link, it takes you to a page where you enter either information or you say they pay this fee. We'll go ahead and bring it to your house if you just tell us the correct address. And then it goes from there. But like I said in the release, the postal service will never ask you to pay via text message. First of all, they'll leave a pink slip if there's a problem with the address. And we've got many other scams going on right now. One, somebody will call and pretend that they're a relative and try mainly to the elderly, and you'd be very surprised on how many that will fall for that. And some even befriend the people and just give them money anyway. And because maybe they're lonely, they just want somebody to talk with, and and they send them money that way, money cards. And most of the scams that we get, people have called and claimed that they go on our webpage, they find out what the deputies' names are, and they use that to, when they call people, hey, I'm Deputy Mudd or I'm Deputy Petite or it's just Sheriff Chaffins. And usually they'll have an accent, and most people in Grayson County know that none of my deputies have an accent. So, we get a lot of calls pretending to be that and requesting money for a warrant or make a paper go away. And of course, again, we will never ask someone or tell someone to make payment on a warrant.
It sounds like it's always safe is that if somebody gets a call pretending to be one of your deputies, if they call your office, they will tell you whether it's something legitimate or not, and 99.9% of the time it is not going to be legitimate.
And we ask people not to call the sheriff's office now and call Dennis Cook instead.
Listen,
that number is
270
502.
I think you grew up in Beaver Dam. I think that's a 270 area code. What do you think, Sheriff?
That's true, but I went to Louisville to grab my first flip
Really?
phone, so.
Really? Look at that. Roger Lush coming in here, too. All-star lineup is what he's calling this.
Well,
Guess we'll have to send him the $5 later on.
Yes.
A caretaker at Morgantown Care and Rehab Center has been charged with a felony after showing up for work highly intoxicated. On Wednesday, Morgantown police reported to MCRC after receiving a report from on-duty staff at the facility claiming that a 31-year-old Veronica Ahaza of Bowling Green had showed up to work severely under the influence of alcohol. They determined she was charged with first-degree wanton endangerment, public intoxication, and lodged in the Butler County Detention Center. Hardin County man was indicted after police found nearly 12 grams of meth in a hotel trash can. If you want to read more about that, you can go to K105.com. Radcliffe police arrived on the scene, discovered the 11.29 grams of meth in the trash can he fought with, and then ran for officers as he jumped over the clerk's counter and tried to take the clerk's cell phone. I mean, jumped over the counter. Wow.
always smart to tussle and run from the police. It's just, do that.
Yeah, it's usually the way to do it, right,
it's
Sheriff?
It's going to lead to a positive result.
It usually doesn't lead to a positive result.
No, it does not.
Unless you run from me, because I'm not going to chase you. So
Well, don't say that on the air.
I'm not sorry. Yeah, I probably should have said that. And I'm in uniform, so
Mute him.
don't run from me. It probably would not be a good idea because I have bionic knees now, 2 bionic
There
knees.
you go. I mean,
So you're pretty much a superhero. Is that what you're saying?
I've now that I've got both bionic knees installed, I've probably got more fake parts in my body than I do actual bones.
Can you jump higher too now?
Yeah, my vertical went from about 4 inches to about 6.
Wow. So can
That's
you?
awesome,
So you're saying
actually.
you can almost hurdle over this clerk stand too after the
I
guy?
could fall over it.
And then maybe need another new knee. Right?
Yes. Yes.
I know that we wanted to touch a little bit on it, and Sheriff, I know you were there as well on Monday, and we didn't talk about it much yesterday, just because I wanted to save it because you were there as well on Monday. We mentioned it yesterday, but what happened during the Cincinnati Bengals Buffalo Bills game on Monday was, and maybe you've found like a right word for it, but I think the word that everyone has gone to is unprecedented, scary. I mean,
Yeah.
it's unlike anything I've seen. I know, Sheriff, I mean, you've seen a lot of football. You've never seen anything like that, I can't imagine, and I think we all hope that we never do see anything like that again. If you aren't aware, Bills safety DeMar Hamlin during a play, it was a routine play. I mean, you've seen it. I mean, that happens in a football game plenty of times. I mean, you could go to Friday night, a Grayson kind of game, and that same play will happen. And he, the play happened. T. Higgins ran into him, fell down, stood up, kind of took a step, and then immediately fell back. And medical personnel came out onto the field. They did CPR on him, chest compressions. I know that they came out and said that he needed to be resuscitated only once. A previous report said that he needed to be resuscitated multiple times. They took him to University of Cincinnati Medical Center. I mean, the ambulance came out onto the field, which I had only had happen one other football game. As far as college or professional, I've had it happen at a Grayson County football game at Muhlenberg County a couple of years ago. But I mean, that atmosphere, and Sheriff, you can say it, I mean, that place was rocking to start. I mean, there were 66,000 people. It was really loud, and I think you could have heard a pin drop.
Yeah, that was the thing. I actually had just returned from the restroom, and it had just happened, and I saw them motioning. I mean, you could tell immediately that the players and the referees knew that something was majorly wrong, and they started motioning people to come out onto the field. And of course, Lauren was there with me and Grayson, and for a 16-year-old to witness that, it was kind of it was very somber for him, and he still, we talked about it, and him and his mother talked about it. It's Lauren's first NFL game, and she was pumped. She was doing the Who Dey. She was even doing the Who Dey song when they first started doing all that.
Listen,
she was into it, and she was having a ball.
It is.
And
listen, when everybody's singing it together, it's pretty fun. Did you drop a Who Dey?
I did drop a Who Dey.
I was gonna say
I did. She was doing it, so I did it too. So it was fun. It was a great time up until that happened, and I've never seen that in a football game, but part of my job, I've done CPR multiple times in my career, and it's a very for the first responders that were there, certainly for his mother. That was the first thing that came to my mind, was his mom, and to be quite honest, it was eerily similar to a situation that happened with me locally with one of my best friends. That basically we were playing basketball, and he went down and took a shot, and I yelled brick because he threw it off the back of the rim. He looked at me and smiled, ran down the floor, and he stopped and just fell straight back. And he never took another breath from that day. And we gave him CPR there. Myself and Dr. Nichols gave him CPR. It was Steve Earls, and Steve was my best friend since kindergarten. And to witness that, and to see that on Monday night, it just brought back painful memories of that occurring, and it was awful. I mean, it was just an awful thing to witness, and to know that my son was there and saw that. We just prayed for his family, his mother who was there and had to ride in an ambulance with him, and and it was an awful experience, and it's certainly something I know was in the minds of the NFL players that were there to have to witness that. And so it was pretty bad.
You just see that it was immediate that the game was irrelevant. Like the game, it didn't matter. And you saw, there's the picture that is pretty powerful of Joe Burrow going up and hugging Josh Allen, and Josh Allen is in tears. And they are friendly, but still, those are two, competitors that are going to be competing against each other for years. And it was clear that at that moment, you didn't see anything. And I know that Zach Taylor, the Bengals head coach, he spoke yesterday for the first time in his press conference, and I know he said that they were trying to figure out, what do you do, and that's when he walked over to talk to the opposing coach, Sean McDermott, for the Bills. And he said, the first thing he went up and he said, it's what can we do? Yeah. And he said, I can't coach, was what Sean McDermott says. He says, I need to go be at the hospital with him. Yeah. And I think that's when Zach Taylor immediately knew, he knew that they didn't want to play, but that's when he knew, yes, this is not what we need to do. And that's when they cleared the fields. And I remember that, since we were there, obviously everybody's on their phones. So everybody's getting different kinds of updates. But really, the only thing we were told is that they said, the official got on his microphone and said, the game has been temporarily suspended. And then, about 30 minutes later, the PA guy, I don't know if you all had stuck around.
Yeah, we stuck around until they told us basically to leave.
And that's exactly what we did as well. And they just had the message up on the scoreboard. And I think everybody was just really just trying to figure out, what do we do? And I know that, the hospital he's at is, phenomenal, University of Cincinnati Medical Center, and that's what everybody has said on just the amount of support. And luckily, it seems like his condition is improving. Now, it's going to be a long road for him.
I don't see how. I was really impressed with how the first responders handled it, because, there was obviously a sense of urgency, but there was no panic that I saw. And that's
exactly what Zach Taylor said as well.
I was very impressed. You think about that, too, is – that was traumatic for 66,000 people that were in that stadium. You take a first responder, they experience that on a regular basis throughout their career consistently. Yeah. Tragedies like that, and that's why my hat's off to my guys and Litchfield PD and the other first responders in Grayson County.
Absolutely,
that have to experience that every day.
There's still really no words to describe it. And I know that the Bengals play the Ravens at home on Sunday. And I'm a Bengals season ticket holder. I know we mentioned that on the show. So, I have plans to attend the game. And I know that even then it's a little weird because it's been 6 days. Yeah. And yesterday hearing Joe Burrow, the Bengals quarterback, DJ Reader, a defensive lineman, that they were even do we play? Yeah. And I think the biggest thing is that since it's unprecedented, no one knows the answers to these questions, and there are no right answers.
Yeah, we had 3 tickets, and we had about $800 in 3 tickets. And honestly, I don't care. I mean, if they don't make the game up, I'm not going to try to say, hey, that cause a stink about it, because, like you said, it's I didn't know Damar Hamlin personally, obviously, but you become one of, I guess, the regular people when something like this happens, and a fan, and seeing that, it's just tragedy.
It is, and we continue to rally around them. The Bills too. I can't imagine what they're going through as well. His family, his friends. I've seen a lot of stories of people. I mean, there are multiple Bengals who played with him in college and high school and so on. It's just horrible. But I wanted to make sure that we talked about it, and I felt like it was good to have you in, because since we were both there, and then also your background as a first responder and as law enforcement helps with that. So we'll take a break, come back. We will talk about some more things as well, but I wanted to be sure that we mentioned that because it is maybe the biggest story that's been going on in sports and really in this nation over these past couple of days. We'll take a break. We'll have more here coming up on In the Know after this.
If you're a woman over 40, have you had your annual mammogram? Whether you're a mother, wife, sister, mentor, or friend, you're important to so many in your life. At Owensboro Health, we want to help you live a healthy life with the ones you love. Having an annual screening mammogram is one way to take good care of yourself, because you're worth it. Schedule your screening mammogram online at owensborohealth.org/mammogram.
Mornings just got doubly delicious at McDonald's with 2 is always better than 1 deal. Right now, get your choice of a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit or other breakfast faves. Buy one, get one for $1. Get your choice of a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, sausage McMuffin, sausage biscuit, sausage McGriddles, or hash browns. Buy one, get one for $1. Only at McDonald's. Prices and participation may vary. Valid for product of equal or lesser value. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
You may have been born to be wild, but you weren't born to be dead from a needless motorcycle crash. So when you're even just a little impaired, you do not get your motor running. You do not head out on the highway. What you do is get a ride from a sober friend, a taxi or rideshare service, or public transportation. Because you may be looking for adventure, but you're not looking for trouble. Please ride sober. Paid with funds through the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety.
This is Ernie Johnson Jr. Sports is about overcoming obstacles, and college coaches work hard to help young men overcome Duchenne muscular dystrophy. It's called Coach to Cure MD, and you can help. Text the word CURE to 501-501 to donate $25 on your next mobile phone bill, or go online to coachtocuremd.org. Text the word CURE to 501-501. Help coaches cure MD.
Brought to you by the American Football Coaches Association.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Are you being audited or investigated? Has the IRS sent you a letter demanding payment? You may not owe what they claim. Make this free call to the tax doctor now. Let them negotiate with the IRS on your behalf. Call 800-631-9123. 800-631-9123. That's 800-631-9123.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
Apple is raising the price of iPhone battery replacements. The company announced beginning March 1st, Apple will charge $89 for batteries for the iPhone 10 through iPhone 13 models, a $20 increase from the current price. Battery replacements for the iPhone SE, iPhone 8, and several iPad models are also increasing by $20. The change comes just a few years after it was discovered that Apple purposely slowed the performance of older devices, and the company drastically lowered the cost of battery replacements. Salesforce is laying off 10% of its workers and reducing its office space in certain markets. The San Francisco-based tech company announced a restructuring plan on Wednesday. Its co-chief executive wrote a letter to employees that the cuts are a result of customers taking a more cautious approach to spending. The company has around 80,000 employees globally. The layoffs are set to occur over the coming weeks. And Amazon is planning on firing more than 17,000 employees. This is the largest known workforce reduction in a major tech company ever. Tech Report, Mark Mayfield.
Welcome back to In the Know here on Litchfield's Country Station 103.9 The Moose and on K105. Sam Gormley, Dennis Cook, and Norman Chaffins with you today, filling in for Mark. Takes three of us to fill the shoes of Mark.
It really does.
Not really.
No, it doesn't. That's right.
We got Today Is here to open up the show, and then I have an update here that just came in from the Buffalo Bills that they just put out in the past couple of minutes. So I'll make sure to read that. But first off, want to make sure we bring you the Today Is Whipped Cream Day. Y'all fans or?
No, not really.
Not really myself.
It is Screenwriters Day. Shout out.
Shout out.
Way to go, screenwriters.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out.
National Keto Day. And apparently this is a fun fact about that the keto diet won't work unless you tell everybody that you come in contact with that you're actually on it.
I'm actually a black belt in keto.
Are you really?
Yes.
Really?
Well, you look great.
That's judo.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
think they're a little different, just a little bit. And then just for you, Dennis,
Come on.
it is Bird Day.
Great. I hate birds. Birds
Well, that's not very nice.
can.
I have a pet bird at home, Dennis. No, not to have a pet bird around Dennis.
Dennis,
I tell you what, they're a little too fast. You can't trust them.
I think, am I correct in saying that you might even use the scared word, right?
Are you scared of birds, Dennis?
No.
Oh, yes.
No, Sheriff. Yes. Listen. Yes. No, I'm not.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you, Sam.
welcome. When I saw that this morning,
Sam,
and I was like, wait, who's the co-host
over
today?
for you, buddy.
Sheriff Chaffins. Oh, it couldn't be more perfect.
Grief. No,
couldn't
I'm
be more
not
perfect.
scared per se. What happens is, there's
He's just
there's
afraid.
an animal in the room, and you're trapped in there with it, and it could peck out your eyeballs.
Not if you close your eyes.
Well, not that quick though. They're quicker than you.
And you got glasses on too, Dennis.
I know.
Uh-huh.
I don't even need them, but I'm just terrified of birds.
There was one. It was in. We went out to eat at Olive Garden the other night. And there was a bird inside the restaurant.
Really?
Shush.
Yes.
Shush. I would have.
Dennis Cook is never going to that
No.
restaurant
You
again.
ever seen the Alfred Hitchcock movie?
No.
Birds.
No. Why would I?
I gotta have. He's got so many different sound effects on
Are you a
here.
Cardinals fan, Dennis?
He's gotta have that. No, but his son wears a Cardinal sweatshirt around.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
Does that
what's-
scare you?
No. Yes, he does. My son scares me. Yes.
I was
My
gonna
son doesn't care. Don't look over there for stuff.
There's gotta be some semblance of a.
No,
I mean, this is not. I guess this. I mean, in a way, is a burn.
That dog's as subtle as a hand grenade in a barrel of oatmeal.
Yeah, he's a little slower though. You can kind of follow him around and get a beat
Now
on
look
him.
I say, look here.
But you know what?
Why do you have a
We
whole
can't say-
sheet of Looney Tunes?
Scared? Who, me? Of course I'm not scared.
I'm not scared. I just don't prefer
There's-
having
you know
birds
what?
close by.
You know what I can say about that?
Nutty as a fruitcake.
Hey, whatever.
Yes, there is
Hurt
a
my
full
feelings.
page of Foghorn Leghorn bumps on here from Mark. I don't really know why, but the update from the Bills, though, is per the physicians caring for DeMar Hamlin, the players we talked about last segment. He's shown remarkable improvement over the past 24 hours. While still critically ill, he has demonstrated that he appears to be neurologically intact. His lungs continue to heal, and he's making steady progress.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Praise God for that. And Sarah said that his
Better believe it.
foundation that he had like $100 and some odd $1,000 in it to begin with.
I had 2,500 in it.
Oh, is that what it was?
2,500, and
Now
I know
it's
that
over $6 million. Is that right?
Yes, I noticed it because, let's see, I got back to my parents' house on Monday evening, probably about 11:30. and there was like $1.1 million. And I know when I woke up the next morning, it was $3.5 million. It's amazing.
Yeah, last night she said it was around 6.
And that's for kids' gifts for Christmas, and I'm sure that can...
Well, prayers sure help. And you have people praying that on air, on live TV, that don't normally do that.
Yeah, Dan Orlovsky, I saw that. Powerful. I have here, there's no perfect transition here, but I have here what experts are saying that you might be eating and drinking coming up in the year 2023. So these are their predictions of the trends. Okay. This person, I was reading this article, and they pretty much were like, yes, I've predicted all of these trends over these past couple of years. I predicted butter boards. I predicted
Fruit Loops.
Plant-based foods.
Fruit Loops.
It might be a little bit prior to that. But apparently the biggest thing that they're predicting, and I think this is a cop-out, and I think you all will both agree with me, chicken sandwiches. We've been doing this, haven't we?
What?
Mm-hmm.
But apparently they're going to be trying to have a sweet heat fusion chicken sandwiches.
That does sound good, actually.
I'm not...
Chick-fil-A, they come out with it.
I'm sorry. He just keeps looking for sponsorships, personal sponsorships, doesn't he?
Dig in the hole. Mark. Dig in the hole. Dig in the hole.
No, it's not.
Alternative sweeteners like maple sugar and coconut sugar. Okay. And then oat, nut, and seed milks.
Yummy.
Spritzes are going to be a thing.
Spritzes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you know what those are. Apparently, some things that are not going to happen. Pickle pizza.
Pickled pizza?
Pickle pizza.
Oh, pickle pizza.
I think pickle on pizza.
Are these like foods for...
fried lasagna, which again, I think that sounds...
cravings?
Pretty good.
Yeah, it does sound
fruit-flavored coffees.
There's already fruit-flavored coffees.
I guess these are what's going around. So here are her main predictions.
That's ridiculous.
For one, she has some cocktails. We won't go into those because there's just a bunch of different kinds. She describes it as wiggly food.
Like spaghetti?
No, like Jell-O.
Oh, okay.
So she's saying that Jell-O is going to become more of a thing, and then like the Jell-O,
Who's
the
she?
consistency. This is she's the person that's been predicting this.
Oh,
and she doesn't ever put her.
So what
name
do I
in.
have to do to become the person that predicts something?
You just have to write something and put it on the internet.
She writes for Food and Wine. Which is a magazine, I think.
Get you on
there. Okay, thanks,
compostable
Dennis.
and reusable carryout. Again, I don't know why that's not necessarily food. And then flambéed dishes and drinks. And she describes why she's predicting that as, quote, I just really like fire.
Is Food and Wine based out of California?
That I have no idea.
Company?
Is the correct enunciation flambéed?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Flambéed. Flambéed or
Here,
flambéed?
I don't think it's flambéed.
Get Gracie on the line right now. Listen, if there's one person she's probably flambéed in her baking days.
I guarantee it.
Is she going? She's going overseas.
She's going to France on Saturday morning.
I didn't realize it was that soon. I thought it was later on in the month.
Yeah, tomorrow we're going to gather up and pray over her with a bunch of folks, and at 5:00 at the church, and then Saturday morning we head out, and then she's gone to France.
France is a beautiful country. I've been there.
That's awesome.
Where is she again? I know that she's in the southern portion of France.
She'll be
right?
close to Cannes, where they have the film festival.
Okay.
Super close to that area, and then she'll be there for 3 months studying baking and pastries, interning at a actual business there and living there.
And that's awesome. I know that you showed me a picture of it's amazing that with Google Earth you can actually zoom in and see the picture of what the place looks like.
Yeah.
Now I know that when she comes back, if she needs to keep up with it and to have some people taste test, I think the sheriff and I can volunteer.
I mean,
sure. You have a test kitchen here?
So here's the thing. So when Gracie was one of my role models for my Here's Looking at You, my drug prevention class.
Yeah.
She had talked to the kids about what she was going to do after high school, and she said she's going to get into culinary arts, and that is culinary arts, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she's going to be a chef, I think, and that's what she said, and that's awesome. A lot of kids don't know what they want to do when they're in high school.
That's very true.
And then she's been consistent.
Not only that, but she's good at it. I remember you all gave us, or Mark gave me one of his or something. It was her cookies. What does she call them? Her
Gone in a Day.
Thank you. I knew that she had a clever name for it that I wasn't going to remember, and those were really good because they're kind of different. Like they're good. They're different from like a chocolate chip cookie. I don't remember what was in them. They were good.
Yeah, I attribute both her grandmothers and her mom, and then also the FCCLA club involvement for helping these students, or helping Gracie in particular, but the involvement and things like that, helping them hone what they want to do for the rest of their life, it's huge.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And it's good that she does this. And I mean, this will be an experience that she'll never forget.
I'd like for her to make a commitment to make a dish for the sheriff's office when she returns.
I think
can you do that for me? Seriously.
I think that's
I'm
doable.
not kidding.
Okay.
I'm not kidding.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It'll happen, sir. Thank you.
He's got the cuffs there.
Let me
that
just
if it doesn't
text real
happen,
quick.
Please make sure that happens, Dennis.
and I think Mark would also like to volunteer for, he likes, what is it, the Death by Chocolate Cake? I think that's his go-to.
Yeah, he likes
or
that.
Red Velvet.
I
Yeah, Red
think.
Velvet is also his favorite.
I think he got some Red Velvet.
Did you pretend
surprises.
text her or did?
No, I texted her. I said, "Are you listening?
Are you
Okay.
listening?"
I
That's what
don't
we're
take
talking about.
I don't take a long time texting.
Okay.
It's
I understand.
fast.
It is. That's the pastor in you, right?
That's it. That's it.
What was that sound effect again? Impressive
It
there.
wasn't the same as the first
No,
one.
it wasn't. It was a little longer the second time. And then we have two phenomenal parents in this room, right?
Absolutely.
The best that you can possibly have.
Have you adopted, Sam?
Huh? No, not yet. Not
Okay, then
anytime
yes.
soon. Yeah, I was going to say, obviously, it's not me. A new therapist is revealing the top parenting tip that she learned from a dog.
Good grief. Who sends you this stuff?
This is Dr. Eli Harwood,
Oh, it's Dr. Harwood, Dennis.
Oh, okay.
otherwise
Great.
known as the Attachment Nerd on Instagram.
Oh,
That guy.
okay. I didn't know him by his real first name.
Yeah.
Eli is a woman.
Her.
Yes, we knew that. Dr. Harwood. That's how I know her.
Yes. Okay.
So the way that
Her.
she recommends it is when you have young kids that you know how, and I know, Norman, you and your dog are just the best of friends. Best of friends. And I'm
Why'd
sure
you
that
have to
your
ruin
dog.
this segment?
No, Grayson and your dog are best friends.
Yes.
Yes. And I'm sure that when Grayson walks into the room, she does the little wiggle. You know, when she gets so excited that she does the little wiggle. So what she recommends is that you should do that to your kids as well when they walk into the room when they're young, is that parents should do the little wiggle to get them excited about seeing you. Mm-hmm. She says that she shakes her body like an excited dog, and it makes the kids very happy. She says that when teenagers turn more into cats, but apparently they still do like it.
Huh.
So what I expect you is to do that to Grayson
today. Actually, I'm going to do what the dog does. I'm going to start barking very obnoxiously loud and trying to bite his Achilles tendon.
Yes, do that.
I secretly think that dog is waiting for the right moment for my Achilles to be in the right position to where she can punch a hole in it and kill me.
Oh my goodness.
I think that, Lauren, if you're listening, we need video.
I wake up in the morning and walk by Grayson's room, and her head peers over the edge of his bed, watching me walk by his room to see if I'm going to come in there.
She's an attack dog.
Can we set up a live remote?
Yes. We'll send Alex. We'll go tonight, and he's going to live stream at your house.
Gracie's listening, by the way, and I think Norman has a request for the sheriff's office.
Yes, Gracie, I would like for you to, when you get back from France. I was in Lyon, France. See, Lyon, not Lion, Lyon, Lyon. And I would like for you to fix a dish for the sheriff's office, and we will be your first trial of see how you have improved with your culinary skills.
Can we get invited to this?
Well, it depends on what she's fixing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, and
I
it can
can't
be,
tell.
and our pastries. Oh, French pastries are
man.
amazing. She's good. I just can't wait.
You should see the stuff this place offers.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, we got to get some. I'm excited to see what she can do, and we're excited too. We'll definitely have to bring her on at some point, maybe after she's back, and get an update on everything that she's learned, and maybe do a taste test on air.
Yeah,
but I've got
Can
dibs.
we make that happen?
I've got
He's
dibs.
first.
Okay, we're second. Deal? We'll take a break, come
up
back
to
with
her.
more. We've got that list of Beatles songs and the most anticipated movies of 2023 coming up here on In the Know.
Sports is about overcoming obstacles. This is Ernie Johnson Jr., and those are the stories I love to tell in the broadcast booth. But the courage of college athletes is more than matched by another group of young men, the boys fighting Duchenne muscular dystrophy. It's the most prolific genetic killer diagnosed in childhood. and there's no cure. But college football coaches are doing something about it, and you can help. It's called Coach to Cure MD. Text the word CURE to 501-501 to donate $25 on your next mobile phone bill, or go online at coachtocuremd.org. Text the word CURE to 501-501 today. Help college football coaches cure MD. You'll be proud you did.
Brought to you by the American Football Coaches Association.
Dell Technologies' Days of Deals for Business start now with fresh, limited quantity deals on tech to drive productivity. Save on select performance laptops and desktops powered by 12th Gen Intel Core processors. Don't forget special pricing on the latest monitors, docks, and accessories, plus free shipping on everything, and special financing with Dell Business Credit. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
There's a price war in the insurance business, and you may be paying too much. Call the Term Lifeline right now and see if you can save 40%. $500,000 plans and up, that's our specialty. Even great smokers rates. Protect your family today. Call the Term Lifeline right now for a free quote. 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM, 866-549-TERM.
Do you know what's below? If you're planning a digging project, you need to know what's below. To find out, visit Kentucky811.org at least 2 days before you dig. This free service will mark the underground utility lines, and you will know what's below. To prevent costly damages and for your safety, know what's below. Visit Kentucky811.org.
Well, health coverage fans, this is the matchup we've all been waiting for, where you find quality, affordable coverage that's right for you and your family through Connect. And it's about the simplest play you can make. Just go to connect.ky.gov/health coverage and get started. Now, more people than ever will qualify and save more by enrolling through Connect. So get off the bench and in the game anytime between now and January 15th. Team Kentucky for the win. Connect. Together for a better Kentucky.
K105 Weather is brought to you by Future Designs Building Materials on Quarry Road in Litchfield.
Twin Lakes weather. Highs today near 50 degrees. As clouds increase, it will be breezy as well for today with gusts near 25 miles per hour. For tonight, we fall down below the freezing mark, keeping an eye on the potential for some very light rain and snow showers across the region. With the warm ground, no major travel impacts are expected. From the Wave News Storm Tracking Team, I'm meteorologist Tawana Andrew.
Get real with the fever on the dance floor.
Did you know? And I'm sure that Dennis and Norman Chaffins are aware of this because they're experts in this. The average snowflake falls at about 3 miles per hour.
3 miles per hour, yes.
I was going to say like 2.8.
No, I think, that's...
It's 4.8 kilometers per hour. Is that maybe what you were thinking of, the 0.8?
Yeah.
I know that you sometimes think in kilometers.
It's the average that's getting you there.
Today's Did You Know, though, is sponsored by ECTC Litchfield campus. I'm gonna be honest, I don't have anything to read, but ECTC, they're great, aren't they?
Absolutely. I mean, that's where Lauren wants Grayson to go to start off.
Yeah. Get the general stuff out of the way.
What's Grayson feeling about that?
He's indifferent about it now. He doesn't really know.
Well, I'm sure Grayson probably has some dreams of maybe playing some football on the gridiron, right?
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
What grade is
He's a 10th grader here.
So he'll be a junior, correct?
Yeah, he'll be a junior this season.
How's that make you feel?
Old.
How's Lauren feel?
She's a basket case.
Already.
Before and after.
I've got a list here of the most anticipated movies of 2023. Dennis, I know you're someone who likes going to the movies. Norman,
absolutely. I love
you do?
movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here are the movies coming out. First one comes out tomorrow is Megan.
Ooh, I saw the trailer for that. That's freaky.
A roboticist, I guess is the proper pronunciation, programs a robot child to help her orphaned niece cope with a tragedy.
Oh, yeah, I saw the preview.
I haven't seen a preview to that.
Oh, man.
On February the 10th, Magic Mike's Last Dance.
Oh, I can't wait.
Channing Tatum's on-screen stripping career ends with a conclusion described as the Super Bowl of stripping. On February the 17th, Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Why'd you even say that one?
There's somebody listening that cares. Cocaine Bear on February the 24th. I've seen the trailers for that, and Cocaine Bear kind of started in Kentucky, has a Kentucky connection, because you can actually see the original Cocaine Bear in Lexington.
Oh, neat.
Creed 3 on March the 3rd. Scream
I'd like
6.
to see that.
Scream 6 on March the 10th.
I'd like to see that.
John Wick Chapter 4.
Yes. I'm
March
in.
24th.
I'm in.
Apparently Dungeon and Dragons has a movie coming out on March the
I'm
31st. The Super Mario Brothers movie on April the 7th. Dennis, is this one you're going to see?
I think you skipped one.
Well, I'm just going in the list.
It's just going down the
What?
list. Okay.
Ant-Man? I mentioned that one.
No, there's one in March. I think Flash comes out in March, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, but there's apparently part 2 coming out tomorrow, so maybe they're saving.
Good. Yeah.
Are you excited for Mario?
The Mario movie is getting good reviews. Alex is a huge Nintendo guy.
See, I grew up with Mario as well.
Chris Pratt is the voice, and it's not a good voice selection for Mario.
I'm kind of with you there.
Well, I'm known in some circles as Magic Norm.
Is this going back to the Magic Mike thing?
Yes, it's a Magic Mike.
So how did you get that name?
Well, that's actually a very interesting question. Make a long story short, my wife's name is Lauren.
Okay.
And on her birthday, I sent her a text message and said, "How would you like to see some Magic Norm tonight?" And then I get this message.
Are we on the air?
I get this message from Lauren.
Yes, we are.
I get this message from Lauren from Wave 3 in Louisville. She's a reporter for Wave 3. And she sends me this text with all question marks. And I was like, why is she sending me a text with all question marks? Then I got to looking at my last text. I sent, "How would you like to see some Magic Norm?" to Lauren from Wave 3, the reporter in Louisville.
I have heard this story now that you mentioned
What? Yes. Well, then I sent this big, long explanation to Lauren from Wave 3. Then that went to my wife, Lauren.
Oh,
so
my
now
goodness.
I'm going back and forth trying to figure all this out. And so anytime Lauren from, I think it's Wave 3. I don't remember if it was Wave 3. It was a Lauren. And she refers to me as Magic Norm.
That's
now.
awesome.
After I called and I finally got her on the phone. I apologized. I said, "Look, I am so sorry. My wife's birthday's today. Blah blah blah." I said it's a huge mistake, and she couldn't. She was laughing so hard on the other side of the phone. It was pretty wild.
This is good. Don't even say the rest of the movie, Sam. We don't need to go on.
I assume you want this next one. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Alex does.
On May the 5th. Fast 10 on May 19th. Are you all into Fast and Furious movies?
I've not seen one.
The Little Mermaid on May the 26th.
We had already talked about this in the break. We were going to set up a family group outing, I think.
Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse on June the 2nd.
That's actually going to be good.
Transformers on June the 9th. I didn't know that there was going to be a new movie coming out.
Transformers.
And then Elemental, which is the new Pixar movie, comes out on June the 16th.
Is that an animated one? I
Yes,
guess?
I think it's a sequel to the Inside Out. Am I right on that?
Okay,
I think so.
Well,
I think that's
part 2 better have all the DC releases because none of them were listed there.
Well, part 2 maybe later on. I've got quickly here. Wow, there was some anger towards that list that I put together and spent so much time on. According to music experts, here's the top 5 Beatles songs.
All right,
Dennis, I know you're a Beatles guy. Are you a Beatles guy, Norman?
I have a couple of Beatles songs on my playlist.
Do you want to go from 5 to 1 or 1 to 5?
Let It Be.
Ooh.
No.
Is that
Strawberry Fields?
Number 5 is Tomorrow Never Knows.
Is this by Food and Wine again?
This is combining a long list. I mean, Rolling Stone, Time Out for the Win. It's a list of probably about 15.
Made up by no offense, but
4
18-year-olds.
is While My Guitar Gently Weeps. 3 is Yesterday. 2 is In My Life. And number 1 is A Day in the Life.
That list is trash.
So what's your number 1 Beatles song?
Number 1 has to be Yesterday.
So that's 3 on that list.
And the other ones, I don't even think belong in the top 5.
Here Comes the Sun. Do.
I think that's too. I think that's too late. I think that a lot of the early stuff is so classic it'll never be outdone. It should be in the top.
You ever
5.
see the movie where the guy had It was got struck by lightning or something.
Yeah, I saw the previews.
It was called yesterday, I think.
Yes, it was.
Sarah
I
and
saw the
watched
previews.
that.
I never watched it.
It was good.
It was
I
good.
enjoyed it.
It was a smart idea. I mean, like a good premise to the movie as well.
It was good. It was surprising.
And then really quick, hitting a couple of the other headlines, Aaron Taylor Johnson is revealed as the frontrunner to replace Daniel Craig as James Bond. He's in Avengers Age of Ultron. I don't know a lot about him. Some other potential, Idris Elba, Tom Hardy, Henry Cavill, Richard Madden, and Bridgerton star Reggie Jean Page? I don't know. Are either one of you Bond? Do you care about that?
I love James Bond movies.
Yeah, I'll watch them.
So how would you think? I mean, Cavill the best.
I think
Could
Henry
he do Bond?
would be amazing.
You think he
was
do Bond?
in one of the last Mission Impossible movies as a villain? He was pretty awesome. I think he would do excellent.
I've got here Disney Plus is going to be adding IMAX quality immersive sound for Marvel movies in 2023. Okay. And then, how do you all feel about Tenacious D and School of Rock by Jack Black?
I'm in. I'm all in.
They're thinking sequels, is what Jack Black is saying.
Don't ruin it.
He said he's thinking a sequel about Tenacious D and School of Rock.
Oh, don't ruin School of Rock.
I'm ready for another Hangover movie. I like those movies.
Do they need another one?
Wasn't there 8 of them already?
3, and the third
I've not
kind of went
seen
down.
one, but I've heard they're kind of funny.
No, it's raunchy, but it is funny.
Oh,
we got to
it's
get to a
raunchy.
break. We're going to come back, wrap up the show after this. It's here on In the Know.
I believe diversity is good for America. It's okay if you and I disagree about things, from music and movies to food choices and clothing styles. We can even agree to disagree about tax rates and political candidates. There's plenty of room for some people to like chocolate ice cream or others the plain old vanilla. There's just one catch. For diversity to work and for our country to thrive, the American people must have unity on certain core values, 3 in particular, that form the bedrock of our entire culture: marriage, family, and the dignity of every human life. Unless we find common ground, society as we know it will crumble from underneath us. That may sound like a scare tactic, but it's a simple fact. Our only hope for securing a future that thrives for our children and our grandchildren is to protect and honor the institutions of marriage, family, and human life. They are that essential to our culture's health and well-being. Without agreement on these bedrock values, our diversity pulls us apart instead of bringing us together. We become selfish and unyielding. We argue instead of talking. We go our separate ways instead of compromising, and at our worst, we escalate into violence. It's impossible for you and me to come together as one unless we turn my goals and your goals into our goals. The diversity between us can only be a blessing if we join together for a common goal and aim in the same direction. For Focus on the Family, I'm Jim Daly.
Hello?
Hey, stranger.
Oh, hi. Thank goodness it's you. I was afraid to answer the phone.
Why? What's up?
The credit card companies are after me. They want me to make payments and the calls never stop.
Ouch. Been there before, but I got help from Trinity Debt Management.
Trinity?
Yeah, I called and right away Trinity contacted my creditors and got my interest rates cut in half. They ended all the late fees and over-limit charges, and they stopped those annoying phone calls.
Bet that was a relief.
Yep. Then they put me on a plan that consolidated my bills into one easy monthly payment. That way, I paid off my debt fast while saving thousands.
Nice.
Trinity even showed me how to plan and meet a monthly budget. So now I'm debt-free for keeps.
Wow. Do you still have their number?
Sure. Here, write this down and call 1-800-990-6976.
Can you repeat that?
1-800-990-6976. That's 1-800-990-6976.
Imagine being able to replace a diseased heart valve in patients without going through open heart surgery. Instead, using a tiny incision and a catheter, resulting in lower risk of complications and faster recovery time. A trip to Cleveland Clinic? No, it's a procedure done right here at Owensboro Health. For Western Kentucky and Southern Indiana, if you want to see what exceptional heart care looks like, look closer. Owensboro Health. We want to keep you healthy. We want to make you proud.
My point to ponder for today. It's an important question to ask.
Okay.
The best thing that you bought for under $50. What would you all say between Dennis Cook and Norman Chaffins, who are our guest co-hosts for today?
Sheriff?
What do you got? Under 50. I mean, that's,
I don't know that I've
Can you get something for
bought
under 50
anything
these
under
days?
$50.
I mean, I would say that two things immediately came to mind for me is, for one, I have, at a lot of, in fact, we talked about this yesterday with Whitney, is I have a stadium chair that I put, because we sit in the stands so often during doing games, and really comfortable. I think that was like $40 on Amazon. Great investment of the $40. And then also, I have back issues similar to not quite as severe as yours, Dennis, but I'm sure you would agree, a heating pad. I think I spent like $20 on one. Such a good
investment. Makes a difference. I spent like $40 on this charger for my phone that's also a case.
I've seen you.
Because my...
Do you have one too?
Yeah, that's it, besties. Because my phone battery just goes like crazy.
Yeah.
By 11 o'clock, I'm hitting this button on the back, and this battery's better than my phone battery.
Yeah, mine's the same way. I'd probably go with that.
Go with that.
Charger,
So you're just
I'm
going to do a
constantly using my phone.
Dennis, you did mention that Norman is your bestie.
Yeah.
Is Gracie now going to be upset at you because
Probably.
competing?
Probably, but you know,
Gracie and I were like this.
I wasn't on his role model program either.
I mean,
so,
do you blame
don't have
him?
to comment anything. It's my turn to speak. So
on TV
I
tonight,
went to school in Ohio County, so
that explains a lot, right? World Junior Hockey Championships.
Oh, that sounds intriguing.
So Help Me Todd on CBS.
Okay.
Law and Order on NBC. And Celebrity Jeopardy on ABC. And then also, shameless plug, Lady Cougars play tonight against Fort Knox. You'll be able to listen here on K105 or watch K105 Digital Productions. A little after 6 o'clock is what time they're thinking that the game is going to start. There's a JV game at 5, so our coverage probably starts about 6:10 as the Lady Cougars take on the Lady Eagles of Fort Knox. So it should be a good game. First time seeing the Lady Cougars since before Christmas, so it'll be good to get back out there and see them. Today's highlight in history: on this date in 1957, Dwight Eisenhower proposed assistance to countries to help them resist communist aggression in what became known as the Eisenhower Doctrine. On this date in 1896, the first invention of the X-ray. It's important. On this date in 1993, construction began on the Golden Gate Bridge. Work was completed 4 years later. It is my great-grandfather that was on that construction crew.
Wow.
Awesome.
That's cool.
In 1943, George Washington Carver died at the age of 80. On this date in 2011, John Boehner was elected Speaker of the House. On this date 5 years ago today, one of the best college football games I remember ever watching, it was the Rose Bowl between Georgia and Oklahoma, where Georgia won 54-48 in overtime. I remember watching that game. Phenomenal
When
game.
was that?
5 years ago today.
Oh.
Birthdays. Turning 92 is Robert Duvall, the actor. Turning 81 is, can I say Charlie Rose? Am I allowed to say that in birthdays? I know he's been kind of on the list of, can't say, I mean, he got fired for some of his things. 81 today.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
I didn't either.
Yeah, no, he, not good. R&B musician George Funky Brown from Kool and the Gang is 74.
Yeah, he's getting up there. I knew that.
You did not. You. Oh my gosh.
Chris
You had no clue.
Chris Stein from
Who he
Blondie
was.
is 73.
Come on, man.
Marilyn Manson, the rock singer. Dennis, I know he's on your playlist,
Let's
right?
guess how old Marilyn Manson is. You already know.
I
Beth.
do, yes.
Say 41.
I'd say he's older than that. I'd say he's in his 50s.
You're right, Dennis. If you can get it.
52.
54.
Same age as me.
54. Bradley Cooper is also celebrating a birthday today. Speaking of The Hangover, you guys want to take a guess on Bradley Cooper?
I'll say 46.
8.
Wow, look at Dennis C. Cook. 48.
Dennis
Is
C.
how
Cook
old
for the win.
Bradley Cooper is.
Whatever. If you told me we were competing, I would have guessed differently.
Chart toppers, again.
Sam,
it's not happening.
you're not even putting in an effort over
I'm
there.
not, no.
Just be honest.
Sing it, whichever song you want. What's your favorite? Yesterday. Yesterday was number
Sing it.
one today.
I don't know the words. Do
you don't?
Yesterday.
Yeah, that's it.
But I did learn we can't talk about any George Harrison songs.
Yeah, there was an angry commenter on the comment
I was a little worried about Roger Lush.
How many exclamation marks are there? Is that 5?
That's 5 exclamation points. I didn't realize that such strong opinions on George Harrison were allowed.
Gracious.
Because didn't Here Comes the Sun a George Harrison song?
Who's Roger Lush anyway? I mean, what? I mean, who's that?
He doesn't even live in Kentucky, and he's commenting on our show, right?
Like an NC State fan or something?
Well, listen, hey, I can't say anything bad about NC State. They did beat the Puke Blue Devils, as he would call them, last night. They
I'm
did
actually
beat
a big
Puke.
NC State fan.
Because of that?
No, I met them years ago when they played the year they won the national championship. I met several of their players and the coach,
Really?
Jim Valvano, in an elevator in Louisville when they played U of L that year.
Okay.
It was pretty awesome.
That's cool to meet Jim Valvano, too.
Yeah,
I mean, one of the more...
He's a role model, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, his speech, too, at the ESPYs. Never.
Gosh, yeah, it was awesome.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up. I guess we're going to add in another point
Still
to
don't
ponder
change
here.
the fact I don't know who Roger Lush is.
Yeah, I mean, does
He's
anybody...
a nice guy that brought in Cook Ranch shaved ice to 2 alumni games.
Yes, that's right.
He did, and apparently I was right on Here Comes the Sun. Roger doesn't like that. That's one of my favorite Beatles songs. Wow. I don't know about this now. My pearl of wisdom for today: when things go wrong, don't go with them. When things go wrong, don't go with them. That is my pearl of wisdom, Sheriff. I appreciate it, Dennis. I can say thank you to you today because I don't think you're coming tomorrow,
Yes,
are you?
sir. No, sir.
Okay. Well, I'll see you all when we see you all next time. And I appreciate you both coming in.
Thank you.
We'll step aside for 23 hours. We'll be back here tomorrow for another edition of the show. So for Dennis Cook and for Norman Chaffins, this is Sam Gormley saying, guess what? Now you're in the know.
Powering through the Twin Lakes with the best mix of music, news, weather, and fun. If it's in the Twin Lakes, it's on K105.